A fun cliche in America is you are what you eat. And to that end, you are, in a way, also with whom you hang around, with whom you consort. And Donald Trump has always said, I know the best people, I have the best people, even though so many people in his first administration, including himself now, are convicted felons, along with the continued list of folks that still kind of trail and have a residual effect of not being such great people. And in this breaking story, you can add one more to the list, and you are not going to believe who it is and what they did. Oh my goodness, I'm going to show you that to you in a few seconds. But take a look at what just got stated and also be reminded of the fixers that have surrounded Donald Trump because he needs them.
Donald Trump said he only hires the, quote, best people. It started as a line on the campaign trail in June of 2015. Far before he took over the Republican Party, Donald Trump said this.
I know the best people. I know the best managers. I know the best deal makers. I know people that will make us so strong. I know guys that are so good.
It was a line that stuck. It fit within the outsider appeal that carried him to his shocking 2016 win.
Moving up in the world is all about who you know, and it can be argued that nobody understood that more than President Trump. The fixers, the bottom feeders, crooked lawyers, gossip mongers, and porn stars who created the 45th president is a new book detailing the tight circle of associates that propelled Trump to the Oval Office.
But some of those associates were involved in questionable schemes along the way and have paid a heavy price to defend the president. Joining us now is co-author of The Fixers and investigative reporter for the New York Times, Michael Rothfeld, and Joe Palazzolo, who is also a co-author of The Fixers and an investigative reporter with the Wall Street Journal. Good to see you both.
Thank you.
So you guys helped to break the story about the whole Stormy Daniels thing, and that was sort of the seed for this book, right? To let everyone know how it started.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
So how did Stormy Daniels become that thread? And what did you uncover once you started to pull?
Well, when that reporter asked, what else did you pull? Yeah. That's always been the case with Donald Trump. There always is another skeleton, another closet with a bunch of stuff in it that just pops out and you go, whoopsie poop. Well, in this breaking story, guess what just came down? His so-called former spiritual advisor is on the way to prison. That's correct. The once again self-righteous GOP Bible-thumping right has found themselves, and this time it's one of Donald's boys, doing something that's one of the worst fears a parent could ever have. Here is the story. Breaking news. Robert Morris, former Texas megachurch pastor and Trump advisor, indicted for intimate crimes against children. Robert Morris is a former spiritual advisor to President Donald Trump and Gateway, one of the nation's largest megachurches, has been particularly active in the Dallas area GOP politics.
Hey everyone, I want to invite you to our summer series, Let's Dive In.
Robert Morris, the Dallas area megachurch pastor who resigned last year amid abuse allegations, has been indicted in Oklahoma for crimes against children of the intimate nature that date back to the 1980s. Morris is a former spiritual advisor to President Donald Trump and Gateway, one of the nation's largest megachurches, has been particularly active in politics. In 2020, Trump held a roundtable on transition to greatness there that was attended by then U.S. Attorney General William Barr and other prominent Republicans. The indictment comes less than a year after Morris resigned from Gateway Church in South Lake after an adult woman, Cindy Clemenshire, said Morris repeatedly intimately assaulted her while she was a child in Oklahoma in the 1980s. Morris was at the time working as a traveling preacher. In a Wednesday text message, Clemenshire said through an attorney that she was grateful for the indictments. In quotes, after almost 43 years, the law has finally caught up with Robert Morris for the horrible crimes he committed against me as a child, she said. Now it is time for the legal system to hold him accountable. My family and I are deeply grateful to the authorities who have worked tirelessly to make this day possible and remain hopeful that justice will ultimately prevail. As Morris's national political spotlight grew, so did his church's local footprint. For years, Morris and Gateway would show slates of local school board candidates on the church's massive screens in the lead up to elections, potentially in violation of federal rules that prohibit overt political activity by churches. In quotes, "Many of you see what Satan has been trying to do even in our school systems," Morris told some of the church's roughly 25,000 members in 2023 before showing a list of Republican candidates. Few, if any, were more high profile than Morris, who steadily involved himself in state and national politics after founding Gateway in 2000. In 2017, Morris was tapped by Governor Greg Abbott to help support the so-called bathroom bill that sought to ban transgender people from using their preferred bathroom, in part by arguing that it would allow children to be intimately abused. On a personal note, in the words of Alanis Morissette, isn't that ironic? What I struggle with a great deal is Donald Trump has been like this his whole life. He had Roy Cohn. He had Michael Cohen. He's had plenty of people protecting the mob boss for decades of his life, and yet so many Americans continue to think that this guy in some way, number one, has any integrity, number two, remotely cares about you, and number three, has any kind of a spine. He's 0 for 3 in all of those categories, and the bottom line is, he's not a good guy. He doesn't hang around or know the best people. He just knows people around him that make him think and tell him that he's the best. Nothing more. False prophet. There's your new hashtag for Donald Trump. You guys stay frosty.